Hey!
Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. I was
Welcome,
just in
everybody.
time with my microphone.
You just finished in time.
I just finished in time.
Yeah.
Welcome, hello everyone. Welcome back to the live stream.
Good to see you.
Definitely good to see you.
Yeah.
Cool,
So we already a lot of
familiar
questions in
names
the
already.
chat. Gamescom and why at the same time. You know, then it's Apple, then it's Intel, then it's something else, and you know.
But the most important thing right here, so I'm glad you're all here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have something new to show, right?
Yes.
So a few weeks ago we already talked about a new power supply. Actually a month ago I think already.
I think maybe even more than it was before my holiday, so more than a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now today we're going to talk about a new liquid cooler. And in a next week? No, not next week.
Not next week.
No, not next week. In a couple of weeks,
yeah.
It's not decided yet. We're going to talk about one of our new cases. So it's a lot of power supply, liquid cooling, case.
And in that stream we will also show them all together.
Yeah.
In a nice working
and we're going to
system.
build something.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think live on stream, but we will definitely make sure that it's a very nice build with these new components.
Yeah. Well, next week we're going to build a live on stream.
Yeah. You're going to build, I think.
You as well.
Yeah, digitally.
Yeah.
More about that later.
Yeah.
But
okay.
before we start, we also have a very nice giveaway today. Right there, if you go to msi.com/2/insider, you can participate in our Steam wallet code giveaway. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can also follow the direct link that our bot puts in the chat once every 5 minutes. It will lead to Gleam. Within Gleam, you can perform certain actions. The more you perform, the bigger chance you'll have to win. And if you're a returning visitor, also make sure to claim your loyalty bonus to have a slight edge in the giveaway. And we will do several drawings throughout the stream, so if you signed up, you will be automatically enrolled for all of them. Charlie Holmes is asking, any chance you'll be giving away Baldur's Gate this week? We're not giving away Baldur's Gate, but we do give away Steam wallet codes, and Baldur's Gate is available on Steam. So you can get a nice discount.
Baldur's Gate is giving us grey hair probably because we never touched the game, so
no,
you probably need to help us.
We haven't play tested anything, so we will go in completely fresh. I have never played a Baldur's Gate game before. I still have to create my character, everything, so I hope we have some people, experienced people in the chat who can lead me through it.
And yes, we are at Gamescom. A couple of years, that's already 3-4 years ago.
Not us, but our colleagues are, yeah.
Sorry?
Not us right now, but our colleagues are.
Sorry, MSI is at Gamescom. We have a booth over there. I'm not sure if they're showing anything newer than what we have to tell you here today. At least we didn't. We don't have a press conference.
We always
like
try
that.
to be the first ones.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, because today, this cooler, we would actually launch that. When was the original launch day? Today or?
It will be somewhere around here, but it is postponed a bit.
Postponed, so we also have something new to show you.
Yes. So our colleagues were ready. Can you move this live stream? No, we're going to show it today, but it will come out
this morning, last minute.
Yes. So halfway September, it should be available worldwide.
We normally try to match these dates with when the products will be available. In this case, well, you see stuff earlier than they will hit the channel.
Yes.
But yeah, it was too short moment to postpone, and we always like to show you stuff.
We were also too early for this model right here, the white one, to arrive, because there's actually a white E360 on the way, but it's still stuck at customs. But
already a few days, so always like that, you know.
No, not even a few days, a full week stuck already.
Already full week, yeah.
But that's the model we will also use in the build that we were just talking about, so you will definitely see that one later. And today we will work with the model you see right here, which is a MAG CORELIQUID E 240. So Eric, let's learn a little bit more about the new CORELIQUID E Series. Yes.
I was doubting which one I should click.
So here on top of me, you already see that there is also a black version of the 360mm model. In total, it will be 4 different models. So we have the MAG CORELIQUID E 240, which is the black model that I have right here with the 240mm radiator. Then there is the E240 white, exactly the same model but in a white color. Then there is the E360, the one you see right here. And then there is the E360 white, and that's the model we will use in a future live stream in our build. Also, just the color is the difference. Our CoreLiquid E Series actually takes quite a lot from the R Series we had before. Later on you will also see that in the feature set, but also in total look and feel. It has some similarities, but actually the concept is based upon a solar eclipse. So that's also why you have that RGB halo kind of thing in the CPU block. I think it looks pretty cool. I will also show you up close. This is what the block looks like in real life, of course, with the RGB off. Eric, are you still awake?
One moment, fixing problems.
Eric has got some latency issues today. So that's what the block looks like.
No.
And the MSI logo is RGB illuminated when it's switched on right there. But also the ring underneath.
The inner ring.
Yeah, the inner ring.
The milky glass ring.
Yeah, it's kind of like frosted kind of plastic
frosted
indeed.
glass.
So it gives a very nice effect. And of course, the fans also have RGB lighting in this model. But of course, it's not just about looks, it's also about the cooling. And that's actually something that this new model can do very well. It has an optimized cold plate, and that's also optimized for the latest generation CPUs. So for example, when you compare previous generation Intel CPUs, they were still square and a bit smaller. Nowadays, they're rectangular, they're a little bit larger, and it also means that we made some optimizations in the cooling plate to make sure that it can perfectly cool the latest generation CPUs as well. Of course, it is compatible with both Intel and AMD, all the way up to the latest LGA 1700 for Intel and AM5 socket for AMD.
I think this is one of the problems you always see with liquid coolers. When you launch it, you of course optimize them for the majority of the CPUs on the market, which are then selling, because most people will buy a new all-in-one liquid cooler together with a new CPU. But the CPU, for CPUs, there will come more models on the market with the new advanced technologies like chiplets, which have the hotspots in different places. And this is also why you need to optimize your liquid cooler. And a lot of people will say, okay, when I move to a new socket or a new CPU and I have the bracket, I can use my old liquid cooler. Yes, you can. It will work. However, you probably don't get the optimal performance, because the cold plate and, for example, the micro channels are not optimized for a new layout.
Managed Charles asking in YouTube chat, do they respond from YouTube or Twitch? We read all
Both?
the chats, so you can drop your messages
we can
wherever
also
you like.
even read TikTok.
If you open up the TikTok chat, then we can see
Yeah,
it too.
please give me a main board. Please
But yeah,
give
no
me
matter if you're watching
Okay,
on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I wanted to say Twitter, but during my holiday I heard they renamed to X. They were also broadcasting, so wherever you like, you can drop
but to be honest, the Twitter/X compatibility and features is going down like hell. So to be honest, I even don't believe we can
cannot see them anymore?
see them in the chat.
Then we need to have a
And
look
also
for that
our
one.
statistics are not working anymore.
But
So
Mendes, you're on YouTube, so you're perfectly fine. We can definitely read your messages. Then let's continue to the pump design, and this is actually a bit different than what you may be familiar with from our previous R series, but also the C series and the P series core liquids. Because in this situation, the pump is located inside the CPU block. We also do that, for example, on the S and the K series, and with the E series as well. It is not that one is necessarily better than the other. It's different, but it does make a bit of difference in terms of installation possibilities, because basically you never want the pump to be the highest part in the total cooling loop, because that way you can get a little bit of error bubbles. We always minimize it in the process, but you always have a little bit of error bubbles in there. So always try to have the rest at least a point that is higher than where the pump is located. So in this situation, that's the CPU block. Right here I have one of our previous generation R series models. Here you see that the pump is located inside the radiator. Eric, can you switch the close up?
I was reading the chat again.
Always distracted. So this is the R series, one of our existing liquid coolers, and this is where the pump is located for that model. But for the E series, it's located inside the CPU block. Let me put this aside again. It's a very durable 3-phase motor, so also in terms of longevity you should be perfectly fine with this pump. And it has separate chambers for the hot cooling liquid and the cold one. Mendes is asking, best advice to do a Z790-P Wi-Fi and 12700 KF please, undervolting with air cooling. Depends a bit on what kind of cooler you want to run, what you want to achieve with it, but if you want to get better efficiency out of it, undervolting is definitely a very good option. In our previous live streams also for Elder Lake, but also the newer 13th gen CPUs, we gave some optimization recommendations of how you can best undervolt within our BIOS. I see with air cooling, yes, then I would definitely optimize a bit, because 12700 KF, quite a high-end CPU. You can run it with air cooling definitely, but you're a bit on the edge of what you can still properly cool with air cooling. So yeah, I would recommend watch some of our earlier live streams about the 12th and the 13th generation Intel, because there we also gave some advice on how to optimize.
You know, it's always trial and error.
Yeah.
You need to try this because it depends a lot on your setup, on your settings.
But even your individual CPU, like one CPU is easier to undervolt than the other. It's also called a silicon lottery. Some CPUs also overclock better than others, some undervolt better. So you always have to find the settings for your specific chip. It's not that if settings work for our 12700K that they also work for the other 12700K. So it's always trial and error from that perspective.
Mike, I have a Japanese question. I'm going to translate it for you.
A Japanese question, okay.
Maybe he says, you amateurs.
You don't trust my Japanese knowledge. That's good because I have none.
Hello. Hi.
That's an easy question. Hello.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, but these are Japanese signs with a question mark.
Are there any Japanese?
Are there any Japanese?
No, not me.
Me neither, but maybe there are some others in chat.
I can say, no, we are not. No.
Eric, in the meanwhile, is chatting back in Japanese. But we'll continue to the fans, because these are fluid dynamic bearing fans, and they're also PWM design, meaning they're 4-pin fans that can also adjust based on the temperature of your CPU. So it will automatically spin up and spin down based on the load on your CPU, the heat generation of your CPU. Fluid dynamic bearing fans are a very durable type of fan, but also very silent. So this means you can run them for years without any issues. For example, sleeve bearing fans, they're a little bit cheaper to produce, but also are not as durable as fluid dynamic bearing or dual ball bearing fans. So that's why for this situation we went for fluid dynamic bearing fans. So very silent and very durable. It's also, of course, compatible with the MSI Center software, where you can control fan speeds, but also through Mystic Light you can control all the RGB lighting. You can, of course, sync this with other components that have Mystic Light support. You can sync them all together, put them on the same effects, all those kind of things. Of course, if you don't like RGB but still want to use this cooler, you can also switch it off through the MSI Center software. Or just not plug in the RGB cable.
Normally you have this running on some schedule, so you don't have to look at it.
Yeah.
Not something, of course you can fine tune it, but not something that you're each day switching them on.
You can if you want. If you want to do a new effect
you can,
every day,
but most people will not do.
No, most people
well,
will
what you could do, for example, is make a profile for gaming, and if you say, okay, I'm going to game, I'm going, and I have a headset, so I don't care about noise. I'm switching it to 1800 RPM.
Also possible.
Yeah.
Talk about noise, here on top of me you see a table with some measurements on different distances, but also different fan speeds. These are from our headquarters, but they didn't specify which model they used here, the E240 or the E360. But something to mention also, that in certain situations, if you want to run a certain CPU, like today we're running 13600K, for example, on this test system later on, and we will cool it with an E240. which is perfectly doable. But if you want to have it more silent, then it can still be interesting to go for a bigger model. Of course, make sure your case can also fit this, but an E360 can achieve the same cooling performance as an E240 at lower fan RPM, which also results in lower noise levels. So it's not always that for cooling capacity you have to go for the bigger model, but if you want to reach certain noise levels, it can still be interesting to go for the bigger one.
Yeah, so and when you purchase a case or a liquid cooler, always check the manual of the case, because there should be, or on the website, have a compatibility guide. It's always good to know what options you have for a case, because you can put liquid coolers at the top, you can put it at the front, but you need to have the space. You can even put them in the back if you're talking about like a 120 or something, a smaller format, but you need to have the space, and you need to think about where you're going to place your fans, about the whole airflow. I mean,
also think about your graphics card, because for example, if you put your radiator in the front of the case, that will take a bit of space that you have available for your graphics card. So if you have a relatively compact case and a big graphics card, then it is possible that the graphics card already needs all of that space. And if you put a radiator in the front, that can become an issue. Of course, also keep in mind that apart from the thickness of the fans, you also have the thickness of the radiator that you have to keep into account here.
Yeah, so lucky VJ cars are not growing in length; they're more growing in thickness.
But they already did. They already grew quite a lot in length over the years,
also,
because now with the triple fan models.
Yeah, and that's not because of the PCB, but because of the fan size.
Maybe you can go to the main cam, because I actually have an RTX 4070 right here. And this is a triple fan model, so it's also relatively long. But here you can see that this is completely open. So the PCB is only up to here. So basically half of the graphics card is no PCB, but the cooler is relatively long.
Yeah.
So the
Which you can also solve with liquid cooler, liquid cooling of your GPU.
Also possible.
But then you are more running into the territory of custom loop solutions.
Yes. That's also very nice if you have like a full coverage block over your GPU. But that's of course more advanced.
I would get wet feet if I would try to make something like that.
Yeah?
That's not...
Then I wouldn't recommend doing it.
No, not for me.
Another nice feature, and this is something we already had on our R series, but reintroduced on our E series, is the rotatable block head. So here I have the R series liquid coolers, and as you can see, Eric, can you switch the close up?
Checking this chat again.
You're always reading the chat when I want you to switch the camera.
Well, okay. Not the
that one. One. As you can see, you can turn this around.
I think I'm getting fired today.
Definitely. But I still need you in this live stream, so we'll do afterwards.
Wait until after we're finished.
So depending on the orientation, you can always get the logo up straight. Here it's the MSI Dragon. On the E series, we have our regular MSI logo.
And RGB light.
Yeah, with RGB in it, and this you can also turn around, and based again on the orientation. Mine is a bit squeaky, by the way. This is a very early engineering sample, so it's not 100% perfect. It's of course better in the actual version you will buy in the stores. But that way you can get the MSI logo completely up straight, no matter the orientation you want to position it in. So if you want to have your tubes on the left of your block or on the right, you can just choose whatever.
Well, I think most people will choose on the right, where the memory is located.
Yes,
the tubes, or on top, because otherwise it's very difficult to angle those tubes. When I was doing a build.
I think.
Oh, your small build.
Top is usually not very common, I would say.
Oh, maybe then it's at the bottom.
Bottom is more common.
When I was doing your build, the small mini ITX build, I also found out that that you have limited space to angle them. Mm-hmm. They should not have any stress on them.
Yeah, like nowadays the tubes they can handle quite a lot. You can bend them quite a lot,
but not fold them.
No, like you don't. Of course, there has to flow liquid through, so you need to keep some space there. And they can handle quite a lot, but indeed, in like very small mini ITX cases, it can get a little bit more difficult to fit everything in. Like for example, I use a 7-liter case, and I really have to fiddle around. I also use like a very small all-in-one liquid cooler with 92mm radiator, but I really have to very specifically route the tubes in order to fit it in my case. And if you use a smaller case, then very often you're also limited in the options of in which direction you get the tubes from the CPU block. Yeah, but with this one, you can always rotate the blockhead, so your logo is always in the correct orientation.
Yeah, later we can also show the RGB effect, right?
Yes, definitely. Later on I will install it.
Yeah. And so this one has RGB light on it.
Yes.
We also have RGB, the S360 for example has a display on it where you can display information. So you know in each price category you get different kind of features, and we also have liquid coolers without RGB.
Yep.
That's not that fast, you know.
The S360, for example, is a model without RGB. That one is really focused to be as silent as possible. It does, of course, have a nice screen as well. This model is more focused at the RGB that it has. It doesn't have a screen, for example. Still offers great cooling potential. The S series are a little bit more silent, though. It's really a model that is made to be as silent as possible.
Yeah. Also with the silent Gale fans.
Yeah, so special fans that are designed to be like.
But it comes at a much higher price.
Yes, it is definitely more expensive than
different
the E series.
price bracket.
Yeah, for sure. You can also see that a bit in our segmentation. So the MAG series are a bit more affordable. Then we have the MPG series, like the mid-range series, performance gaming. And then we have MEG as enthusiast gaming. And those usually offer the highest end features, but are also a bit more expensive. I see a question by Nasty Yoda. Any plans of releasing a 420mm liquid cooler in the future? Not at this point, but never say never. But 420 is a bit more difficult with most cases. So you need a very big case in order to fit a 420mm radiator, which also means that the market for this is automatically a little bit smaller because not that many...
Not a little bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people own a case that can fit a 420mm radiator. They exist, but they're not very common.
And that's the same, for example, for 120. We have 120 liquid coolers, which we offer to system integrators and OEMs. However, we're not selling that in the channel.
No. Also, nowadays, some CPUs you can, of course, still cool with a 120mm radiator. But CPUs, over the past couple of years, did become quite a bit more power hungry. Later on, you will also see it with even the Core i5 that we're using right here, the 13600K. Like under full load in Cinebench, it's close to 200 watts of power draw. Of course, this is fully loading all the cores, so P cores, E cores, in a rendering workload. So that's extremely CPU intensive. When you're gaming, of course, it won't be even close to that.
I think the problem is not only the CPU load, but also the turbos nowadays. All the CPUs are just turboing to the maximum speed, and that's also where water cooler of liquid cooler can help. Yeah,
basically Intel and AMD are already maximizing what the CPU can do. So like in the past, for example, you would do that through manual overclocking. Nowadays they automatically boost to what they can do. But in certain situations that can lead to quite a high power draw, especially the higher end models that also have a ton of cores nowadays. There you do need a very beefy, basically only one liquid cooler at least in order to cool it.
Alan's saying for people with more money than brains, it's the MAG series. Well, yeah, it's more expensive, and then if you look at price of
depends a bit on what you want.
Yeah, indeed. If you look at price performance, then I think this one is a great choice. But if you really want to have something silent, and you don't have the possibility to use a headset, but you use speakers, for example.
In terms of cooling performance, this is actually not too far off the MEG series. But the difference is the MEG can achieve that cooling performance at a lower noise level. And also the MEG series, of course, offer extra features. So you, for example, do get the LCD screen. Here's also an additional fan in the CPU block that helps to cool the MOSFETs on the motherboard. So yeah, it differs on what you want. If you want to have an extremely silent system, then I would say the MEG series, the S series, are worth it. If you only care about the cooling performance, this is actually quite close to it, but it will produce a little bit more noise compared to the MEG series, of course. Obscene Pizza is asking, does it report the water temperature? No, there is no sensor that measures the water temperature in this all-in-one liquid cooler. LNGT says top mount is easier as GPU gets in the way of front mount. Depends a bit. Of course, you can lead the tubes from the top, then it's also quite doable. Then you're not really in the way of the GPU. And what's also a difference in certain situations, for example, the front can fit up to 360 millimeter, whereas in certain cases the top can only fit up to 240 millimeter. So then the front may allow you to fit a bigger liquid cooler.
It so also depends on the airflow, what you want, what your case setup is.
Yeah. So yeah, there's something to say for both of them. It depends on your total setup and indeed what you want. Can you move the chat a bit? That the TikTok is not over. Yes, because Pandorian Grey is saying, I have not seen any all-in-one 420 or otherwise that can cool a stock i9 3900K on Cinebench and keep it from throttling over 100 degrees. A 3900K is definitely difficult to cool, especially in those kind of workloads. So if you run it in Cinebench and you're stressing all those cores to 100%, then basically you're always maxing out your cooling. The thing is, you can go to an even bigger radiator or combine in a custom loop like two 420 millimeter radiators, but it's still the same package size. So it's a relatively small chip. It's much smaller than what you would see, for example, on high-end desktop platform, where you have to dissipate a lot of heat because, of course, the power draw under full load of those CPUs is very high. So at a certain point, you're not really limiting the cooling performance anymore by the size of the radiator or even the quantity of multiple radiators, but you're running at the maximum of the heat you can dissipate through a very small area that you have on the mainstream platform.
I saw a nice video, I think it was with Der Bauer and AMD about, was that Michiel?
Yeah, I know they did some videos.
Yeah, they were talking about the heat dissipation from the CPU and what kind of optimizations they would do in order to get the heat out efficiently. And you know, there's a lot of science behind it. Yeah.
Also, Der Bauer, for example, does a lot with delidding. It's not something we would specifically recommend because it comes with a certain risk. It's also quite an advanced thing to do. It's not very easy, and if you ruin it, then you ruin your CPU. Also, of course, void your warranty. So it's definitely not something we would recommend, but some enthusiasts, they do delid. So basically they take the integrated heat spreader off the CPU.
Beckenbauer?
Sorry?
Somebody's asking on TikTok, Beckenbauer?
No, not Beckenbauer.
No, Der Bauer.
It's a German guy. I think he used to be an overclocker, right?
Yeah.
But he's like very active on YouTube with his video, and he makes like very
actually YouTube is not his dream. He's more building PC performance components like cooling blocks, cooling
and he
paste.
Also does like the more extreme cooling solutions.
Yeah.
The more custom. But yeah, so there are ways to get even better cooling, but then you will void warranty, and it is tricky to do. Another way is, of course, you already mentioned undervolting. That's also a way to optimize a bit. Yeah. But that also very much, as I said before, depends on the quality of your CPU. Certain CPUs, you can get quite a bit out of it when you undervolt a bit. But optimization in the BIOS, especially if you're a more advanced user, if you're familiar with the BIOS, then definitely fiddle around with it a bit to see what you can achieve. And like a lot of chips, they tend to get a bit more efficient when you optimize them manually. Let's continue to the radiator. Because these radiators, they offer very high thermal dissipation. It has a 12 pathway cooling design. And the cooling design is also a bit different than what you know from the R series. So when we look at the radiator from the R series, if Eric for once is not distracted maybe. You're already looking in a different direction again.
But you are switching too many times.
Yes, always when you're looking on the other side, then I'm like, hey Eric, can you switch to the other camera? But yes, this one. For the R series, it's actually a pathway that has two pathways from the outside and one on the inside, and that has to do with the positioning of the pump in the radiator here. On the E series, let me quickly switch to the other cooler.
We should have a red button with a red light that I know I need to push some button.
Yeah, indeed. Or like a horn.
Yeah.
This is split in two halves basically. So it is 12 pathway in total, but it's split in two halves. So on one side you get the hot liquid coming in, and then of course it cools down, turns around here, and this is the cold side where it leaves the radiator again. So here it's basically split in half, where on the R series it's like two on the outside and one on the inside. So that's a little bit different here, and it all has to do with the placement of the pump that is different in the E series, where it's located in the CPU block, compared to the R series, where it's located inside the radiator.
Is MSI releasing new models for the upcoming 7700 XT and 7800 XT? I don't know this model, so probably something NDA.
So another question, Ilyas the gamer is asking, hello, I want to ask about Mystic Light. Is there any chance to add new games for GameSync? I know this is something they work on constantly, but I don't know which titles exactly. But they should indeed add more and more games.
That's quite difficult, you know, because we need to first of all work with a game publisher. Need to get a license, and secondly, we need to interfere. That's a wrong word. Interface, maybe the right word. Interface with the game. So, and we always want to have this ready before the launch. We did it several times with Ubisoft, but it's very difficult in order to do that, because those developers also, you know, they need to make the game good, and this is something extra. I know there is a new Ubisoft game coming out. I don't know if it's public already, and we're going to co-work with them. And I'm not sure if we're also going to add that game to the GameSync. I need to look at that.
But we are definitely going to do a live stream about that.
I don't know if the game is announced. And
I'm not saying which game.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm just saying we're going to do a live stream with Ubisoft in the near future.
That's still away.
Yeah, but there, if the game, of course, supports it, then we will also talk a bit more about that.
Yeah.
Then let's continue to the fans. I already mentioned these are fluid dynamic bearing fans. So
I don't get any compliment when I do my job.
Sorry? Yeah, it was good. A little bit of latency again, like you're not a fiber connection, but but it was good. I didn't have to ask. The fan blades on this CPU cooler also they're constructed of low impurity acrylic, and basically that means you get a very nice even distribution of the RGB lighting through the plastic of the fans, because the LEDs, they're located in the middle of these fans, so basically near where you find the motor and the bearings, and it spreads all the way throughout the different fan blades as well. So you get a nice RGB effect all the way over the fan. But later on you will see this also when this model is running on our demonstration system.
Hey, timing.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I also see that you get a compliment by Nasty Yoda in the
thanks,
YouTube
thanks.
chat.
Yeah, yes. People are noticing I'm doing my job.
Way to go, way to go. Then let's take a look at the compatibility, because this differs a little bit between if you're getting a 240mm model or a 360mm model. For the 240mm models, you will get support for all the mainstream platforms, such as for Intel, LGA 1700, of course, being the newest one, but also the older LGA 1200, the 1150 series. Those are different sockets, of course. For AMD, you will get support for the mainstream platform on the 240mm models as well. So you will have both support for AM5 and AM4. But if you want to run, for example, a Ryzen Threadripper CPU, so that's AMD high-end desktop platform, on TR4, STRX4, then you do need a 360mm model. Also, that's the only model that comes with that bracket. So the 240mm model really does not support it. We did that with a reason, because the Threadripper CPUs, they require more cooling capacity because they have a ton of cores. So in our opinion, it only makes sense to do this in combination with the 360mm model, because they also have the capacity to provide a certain cooling performance because of the size of the radiator. So only the 360mm models come with a bracket that can support the AMD high-end desktop platform. So keep that in mind if you want to use this in combination with the AMD Ryzen Threadripper CPUs. Then let's take a look at the price. As I mentioned before, 4 different models. So The E240 comes available in black and white. The white model always has the edition in the product name. It mentions white there. The E360, same story. Also, the black is a regular version and the white has the addition to it. The white models are a little bit more expensive than the black models. Of course, has to do with the quantity. We produce a lot more of the black ones. That allows us to keep the price down a bit for those. So the white is $10 or 10 euros respectively more expensive. Prices start at $109 for the black E240 and they end at $149 for the white E360. That's excluding VAT. In euro pricing starts at $129 and ends at $169. And that is including VAT. In this example, it's 20% VAT, but it depends per country in Europe what the exact percentage is. Like, for example, we're located in the Netherlands. Here it's 21%, then it will be slightly more expensive. Is the VAT in your country a little bit lower? Then, of course, they will be slightly cheaper. But this is a recommended price, so it can still differ from store to store.
And this will differ, you know,
Yeah.
always a matter of time before they move with the market.
Indeed.
I think the prices are competitive because I know the performance of the cooler. Today we're not going to look into that. But yeah, you just watch your favorite YouTuber.
We will look a little bit into it because we will demonstrate the E240.
Yeah, but I mean versus other coolers.
Yeah, indeed. Definitely check them out later. We will also send these to reviewers, of course, and they will also test the performance compared to different brands, different models. You can also compare the 360 and the 240 against each other. LNJT is saying, so no 280 this time, at least not at this point. Never say never, maybe in the future. But at launch, which will be halfway September, it will be available in 240 and 360 millimeter only.
So the white 360 we're going to use next week.
Not next week.
Oh, sorry.
In a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks, yeah.
Next week we will use a different one. I don't know which one yet next week, but we will find that out. But in a couple of weeks we will have a very nice build where we will use the white E360.
Yeah, we're going to do a complete white build.
Yeah, in a completely white system. So if you fancy those, then definitely check out that stream. If you want to get it even a bit cheaper, in Europe we're currently running a very nice after-school campaign. And it's not only for liquid coolers, it involves a lot of our product groups, so also motherboards, cases, power supplies are included, also other models, liquid coolers. And depending on the item you're getting, you can get a cashback of up to 100 euros, or if you're in the UK, up to 100 pounds.
But the new ones are not included, are they?
Yes, I think they are. Let's maybe have a look, because if you go to our website...
If, you know, are they included?
Yeah, I think they are. If you go to our website, if you go to what's new, and you go to promotions, wait, I should make this a little bit bigger. There we go. That's better, right? There on top you see 2023 after school.
Oh, click on the Fight for Freedom. What is that? Oh,
that's
okay.
Overwatch.
Yeah. This was the bundle I was talking to you about. I didn't know, but so it's called Fight for Freedom.
Yeah, but right now we're going to talk about the after school cashback promotion.
What a name.
This is specifically a promotion that is running in Europe, so that's also why you only see European countries here. For the sake of simplicity, I will pick the UK, because that's in English, of course. Then you will also see the background change to, here you will see it change to pounds instead of euros. And here you also see the promotion period, which is the 22nd of August until the 19th of November. That's for when you purchase the actual item, and then there is the redemption period, so when you can redeem your cashback, and that runs from the, let me see, the 5th of September up until the 17th of December. And you have to claim them within 14 days after you purchase the product. Here you see all the eligible models. So for example, for motherboards, you see different chipsets, both Intel and AMD. So you see Z790, B760, X670E for AMD, and B650. Here you see a list of all the different models. So on top you select the chipset, and on the bottom you can select the eligible model, and there you also see what kind of cashbacks you have. So for example, on the higher end models, cashback will be higher. So on Z790 Godlike, it's for example 100 pounds in this situation. If you go for more mid-range, there you will see on Tomahawk, it's for example 20 pounds. Here you can switch in different product groups. So we have different power supplies that are also eligible for this cashback promotion, including the new MAG AGL series, PC cases, also quite a bunch of them right here, and liquid coolers. And as you can see, Eric, the new ones are also
Do I need to click on something?
Sorry?
Do I need to click on something?
No.
You mentioned my name?
No, you don't have to click. No.
Okay.
But for example, on the E360, you can get £20 cashback in this situation.
Nice deal.
And
But you know,
it's actually
takes,
20 on all,
takes
I
like
think.
two more weeks
Yeah.
before they're available on the channel.
Yes. A little bit more even. It's halfway September. But this cashback promotion is running up until over halfway November. So you can still make use of this cashback promotion if you're in an eligible region, so certain European countries. You can get €20 or £20 cashback on these new E-Series liquid coolers. S-Series are also included. Those are of course higher end models. Cashback is a little bit higher here. So the S360, for example, has £40 or €40 cashback. And actually that one also runs a very nice promotion where you can also get, how was it called? The game we played last week. Atlas.
Oh, that was Atlas.
Atlas
Fallen.
Atlas Fallen, that was what I was searching for. We actually played that last week in a live stream, and we have a promotion with the CoreLiquid E360, where you can also get that game for free. So definitely check that out as well if you're interested in the CoreLiquid S series. Skeet series asking, is that just Europe? Yes, this specific promotion is the cashback promotion is. The Atlas Fallen one, I believe, is a worldwide promotion. Let me see. I think that should be somewhere here. Where do I have it? Oh, I think there's no landing page for this one, but you can claim that through the member central actually.
Yeah. I think they showed last week.
Yes, we did show last week. But that one, I believe, is worldwide from the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that's specifically for the CoreLiquid S360. So the cashback is only for certain European countries. Also, if you visit from another country where it's not eligible, you may also not be able to see this, for example, on the website that you see right here. Okay, then Eric, I have a job for you. You also have to switch scene to the main one, and then you can pick our first winner for the giveaway.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, already.
And maybe you can also repeat how people can participate, and in the meanwhile, I will install the E240 on our demonstration system.
So you want me to distract them from your build quality?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
Good.
I know how
very
difficult
good
it
at
is for you.
distracting, so.
You have some back problem, right? So.
Yep.
Ooh, watch
I
him.
indeed hurt my back during my holiday, so that was not ideal.
Okay, active giveaway. Let me go here. They changed the whole interface. Draw winners.
A little bit of cooling paste.
Allow us repeat winners. No. Draw. Okay, first winner. So we have a giveaway today. You can win a Steam voucher wallet code. I don't know what it is. Steam wallet code.
It's a Steam wallet code.
Yeah, not a voucher. Anyway, first winner with a loyalty bonus. Thank you. It's
difficult name.
Well, not. It's like he put it behind brackets, or he or she. 2 of 7. Congrats. I know this person. He's watching more and active in the chat. So congrats. You win a Steam wallet voucher. Anyway, if you want to participate, you can still go to msi.com/do/insider, or on the YouTube and Twitch. We have a link. You can click on the Gleam link and do some clickies. And is that right, Michiel? Do some clickies, participate in some actions, and yeah, we will be giving away more of those. Did I okay, Michiel?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
You were so quick that I'm still installing the liquid cooler.
Yeah, we want to see that in detail. Let me go back to the chat.
So right now the Intel mounting bracket is already on. That one works with 4 screws. One for each corner. I'm glad that I'm not doing the building next week, because this already hurts my back quite a bit.
Actually, let us talk about next week. So I don't know who will participate. Either Michiel, me, maybe somebody else. Peter, we don't know yet.
I will definitely be there.
Okay.
But I won't be building, but I will be there. Yeah, I will be building digitally.
We will have a competition.
Yes.
So we are going to launch the MSI section or with products of the PC building simulator. You can find it on Steam. Also probably a nice purchase, but maybe wait until we used it last week that we can really tell you honestly how it works and if it's nice. I once tried it.
If it's nice, depends on if the person that's doing the building in the simulator wins or not.
Yeah, so we're going to do a physical build versus a virtual build,
Yes.
and we will see who's finished first. And Michiel thinks he has a.
But then you have the Formula 1 saying, right? To finish first, you first have to finish.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's going to be a challenge.
That's going to be a challenge because I once tested the PC build simulator and after like 5 minutes I already gave up. So if I'm here, I'm going to do the physical build. Not only because probably I will lose with the digital build.
What do you mean probably? Certainly.
And Michiel has some back problems, so
yes.
he is not allowed to do heavy weight lifting.
Like any lifting, so
but
cases and
Michiel,
stuff are a bit
if
challenging.
I participate, I want to have some input on what components because you probably give me a mini ITX level 5 build.
I will give you the most difficult components.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then you're probably also going to
and then I'm
bend
like,
some
easy
pins.
win today.
Missing components. Yeah, okay.
No, that's okay.
I need to be on top of this.
We will pick an easy system for you. We'll make it Eric proof.
Yeah. When you're launching a new case, in 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to do a live stream about a new case.
Yes.
This Prospect 300R.
No.
300. No,
it's
not
Prospect.
Gunner. Sorry.
Gunner.
The Gunner 300R something white. Airflow white.
But also the 300p.
Oh, we have both.
Yeah, we have more models.
Okay. So that's the black one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Those will launch then. We will have the white 300R. And that will be included in the very nice build with
Hey, Joran.
some other white components.
Nice for you to join. We were even talking today about you.
There we go. I'm quickly connecting everything, so the pump, header, and the fans, and the RGB lighting.
That's always interesting to make it Eric proof. So maybe I do the digital build.
It's
I
always
cannot damage
difficult to make it
things.
Eric proof. So let me.
Well, it was positive.
There we go. So does this look any good in terms of the cooler?
It depends. We will judge when you put RGB on.
I will do that in a second. I don't see any RGB yet, do you? Maybe I accidentally disconnected anything.
If you need my help, just let me know.
I need to see if I accidentally disconnected any RGB, and it looks like I did. There we go.
We want our own copies of Lucky. This is a physical one, Michiel.
What is physical?
Can you pet Lucky?
This one?
Yeah.
No, it's completely virtual. This is
No,
fake.
no,
This is not here.
Interactive one.
Did I already destroy the RGB lighting?
Oh my god. If this is true, you will get a label, right? People will think that you always destroy
Usually
hardware.
you're destroying the hardware.
Psst.
Let me see.
So these are the best parts of the live stream. Panic.
Yeah.
Michiel, can you look with your eyes in the
debugging.
camera? We want to see some tears. Shame.
This is why I own a computer without RGB.
A slow computer.
Yeah.
Lower
You
FPS.
lose a little bit of FPS, but you don't have to deal with all the RGB cables and stuff. Let me see. We have the cables bundled nicely together. But that has one downside, that I cannot see where they're coming from.
I'm sorry, no Baldur's Gate today, because Michiel needs 15 minutes to fix his...
Oh, you think I already finished this in 15 minutes?
Not sure.
I still don't see any RGB, do you?
No.
Okay. let me try again.
The longer the steak, the more sweaty his hands palms are.
I can already see what I did
damn
wrong.
it. You found the problem. It was
Yes.
not caused by me.
Not this time.
So what's the problem? Enlighten us.
No, I was plugging the wrong header on the motherboard. Look, there we go. I was plugging the block in. But I need to plug the block into the fans now. So you interconnect them. And I accidentally interconnected the fans to each other, but they were not connected to the motherboard. There we go. Let's leave those cables there. There we go. We got working RGB. And now my back hurts.
We need to take a wheelchair or like a stroller for you.
Indeed.
You can push forward.
Alan JT says, oh dang, it's not working. What do you mean? Works perfectly fine. No one saw that I plugged it into the, that I plugged the wrong device onto
So system already running?
Yeah, system already running. You can already go to capture and you can see. See that part work.
Can you empty the trash bin?
Ooh, what's in there?
I don't know, but it's annoying me.
Let's check. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. I think that's all from Ruud, from all the testing that
some
did.
benchmarks.
Let's open this one up. Let's first have a look at the hardware that's in here. Here we go. So we're running an Intel Core i5-13600K. i5 may sound mid-range, but actually this has a lot of cores because it has 6 performance cores and 8 efficient cores. So this is actually a 14-core processor. The P cores, they come with hyper-threading. So in total, this has 20 threads. It has a TDP of 125 watts, but under full load with the boost, you can get it quite far over it. You will see that later. So it also, if you want to run this at 100% load in CPU-intensive tasks like Cinebench that we will demonstrate, you will see quite a bit of power draw. And you also need proper cooling in order to handle that, of course. Then we are running the Pro Z790-A Wi-Fi motherboard with 32 gigabytes of RAM, so 2 sticks of 16 gigabyte running at DDR5 5600 and there are CL36 in this situation. Here you see the Intel integrated graphics because it's a K SKU, not a KF, so it has integrated graphics, but there is also GPU 1, and that is the RTX 4070 Gaming X Trio 12 gig model. Brave Soul says something black coming on LED fan. No, I think what you see is the chroma key. The chroma key, because we use a green screen right here, when the RGB
I can switch
cycles
that off
through the different colors, there you do see the black thing.
Where do I switch this off? This one? No.
No, the other camera. Yes.
This one.
Eric will switch off the chroma key for a second, then you will see
I'm trying to find it.
what
filters.
it looks like in real life.
Added filters. There's no filter on here. What the?
No, you're looking at the background now, and you have to go to the camera.
Oh, this
That
is the
one.
one. Yep. Edit. What is this? Look. Oh, it makes us a bit yellow. Anyway.
Yes, that's a color correction.
Hey!
And you're gone!
Where did I go?
Oh, this is much better. Let's keep it like this.
Where did I go?
You see, you're fake and Lucky is real. I always knew.
Oh, this is like some sort of color correction.
But here you see what it actually looks like. So here you see the green being green as normal, but as soon as we...
So I'm not really here, I'm AI.
Yeah. Eric is not real. He's generated into this live stream. But as soon as you switch on the chroma key, of course, it also wants to key out the green light of the RGB lighting.
Yeah.
Heading back to the system, so running a 4070.
Is that my cue?
Sorry?
Is that my cue?
Is that like me?
No, you said I'm heading back to the system.
Oh, yeah.
I need to push the button.
Yes, indeed. Is this readable? It's probably a bit small.
It's a bit small. Should I make a zoom?
Yeah.
Or should I make a zoom?
Yeah,
Or should I make a zoom?
zoom.
Zoom.
Zoom. No, it's okay, it's okay. I will mention what's on here. And you also have the specs visual open in the bottom, so there it cycles through all the specifications of the system as well, if you want to read it back later on. SSD that we're running is a 1 terabyte Spatium M480, so that's a Gen 4 SSD. So this is today's system, and we're powering this by the new MAG A750 GL PCIe 5 power supply. That one also has the 12 plus 4 pin power connector, so the PCIe 5.0 connector that is currently powering the GPU as well. What else do we have? Of course, the liquid cooler, and that's it basically. Then I'm gonna close hardware info and restart it, but then I'm gonna start the sensors. Let me adjust the scaling a little bit so I make it a bit bigger. It's already at 150. Why is it still so small then?
No, we're not building a PC.
Let's maybe make it 200.
We're just showing a liquid cooler.
That's already better. Let me reorganize this a little bit. So right now you can see the pump speed. So this is running at around 3000 RPM at this point. You can see the CPU fan speed. Right now it's idling.
Mike, I'm a bit confused. You say 3000 RPM, but in the slide you had, we were talking about 1800, 1500 and something else.
That's the fan speed. That's
oh, sorry. Okay.
There was a comparison of the noise levels at different
can you influence the pump speed as well?
I think it can, but I believe for this it runs quite constant, and you barely hear it, still offering good performance. But you'll see that later on.
You have the software installed as well?
No, I don't have that installed.
Okay.
So I won't be focusing on the RGB. We've focused on previous live streams. So if you want to learn more, for example, about Mystic Light, but also the different cooling options that MSI Center offers, check out one of our previous streams. For example, the S360 stream, we went into more detail about that. And there you can also see how the screen on that model functions, etc. For now, we will stick to the cooling performance. Right now, it's running, of course, in idle, so the CPU load is very low. Actually, the package power is like hovering between 5 to 10 watts, so that's really low. Like Intel CPUs in idle are extremely power efficient. That also means that it barely produces any heat at this point, so the fans automatically spin back. So it's around 700 RPM right now. Later on, when I will put on Cinebench, you will see this ramping up quickly. Also, of course, the CPU package power. So already mentioned the package power. This basically shows you what the complete CPU draws at any given time with a nice graph. Later on, you will also see the spike when we put it under load, of course. And here you see the CPU package temperature. So that's basically the temperature of the whole CPU. Right now, it is idling at about 30 to 35 degrees. Okay, then let's run Cinebench. And Cinebench is a very heavy rendering workload. And this will basically I will run the multi-core benchmark, and that basically puts full load of all the cores on this CPU. So in this situation, there are 8 E cores and 6 P cores that are all fully stressed to 100%. So 14 cores under full load. It says minimum test duration off now. That means that it would only run one benchmark, but of course I want to see how the cooler also performs under sustained load. So if you run it for a longer period of time, if it can properly keep down the temperature. So I will put this to 10 minutes. Also
so if you really want to do this, then it's best to do this 30 minutes, but we don't have...
yeah, that's more, that's more of a stability test. So here you basically can see whether or not you will throttle. Here you can see if your total system is stable.
But I mean, if this would be a benchmark, we would be doing 30 minutes to see a better example.
Not like for a benchmark, the Cinebench itself, the benchmark, you would run it once.
No, I mean, but to see the performance of the product.
Yeah, because now it's about the cooler, so the score doesn't really matter. It's more about how much heat it produces, or in this case, how much.
And this is also something out of the box. We didn't tune anything CPU-wise.
This is just regular Cinebench R23, 10-minute duration, and of course, and that is very important, the multi-core one. Because if you do the single-core one, then it will only run it on one core. Of course, then the load is way, way lower than when you do the multi-core one.
But it will boost that one core to higher clock speeds.
Yes, of course, then it will be able to clock higher. So I will start this one, then you will see it start rendering. So each block is basically a thread, so it can do a lot simultaneously because this one has 20 threads. So right now this is under full load. If we go back to hardware info, you see the fans quickly ramping up. You also see that the package power went from like 5 or 6 watts to over 190 watts. Like right now it's about 193 watts approximately. So that is a lot of power draw. But of course now we're fully loading 14 cores, 20 threads. You also see of course the temperature rising because it's under full load. You will see small dips here. You also see that in the package power, in temperature, the package power, and in the temperature here. That is when Cinebench goes to a new cycle, because basically it keeps on rendering the same image over and over, and in between the different renders it will briefly stop. Those are the small drops you see here. But of course it will do this for 10 minutes, so you will see how it will consistently perform. And you see the power draw is a bit like around 190, 195 all the time. And currently the peak is around 48 or 84 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that seems to be slowly rising.
Yes, if you run this sustained, of course, it will get a little bit warmer, because also the liquid in the cooler will heat up a bit, so it will cost a bit more effort for the liquid cooler to cool it back down.
There was an interesting question earlier. Can you see the water temperature? The liquid, I should say, temperature?
No. There is no sensor inside the liquid cooler.
Also, if you see that, I mean, no way to influence it.
No, it also doesn't really matter. In the end, it's all about how well does it cool your CPU.
Indeed.
It is a nice statistic for nerds, and I do like do like statistics for nerds. So I get why you want it, but of course for the cooling performance it wouldn't make a difference. Nasty Yoda says tends to look good for a 240mm, so other 360mm coolers do worse. Yes, for a 240 I think it cools really well. In terms of cooling performance, this is very close to like even our higher end models. I think you can hear it a bit, so if you want to have very good cooling performance but want to have it even quieter, then of course the S360 will be a little bit better. It's still not extremely loud, and we're running of course the 240mm model, so also the 360mm model will be able to get this cooling performance at a little bit lower noise levels. So that's something to keep in mind. If you want lower noise levels, basically get the biggest cooler you can get. So now we've been running quite a few runs already. You can see all the dips for the different runs. We're still over 190 watts, and still temperature very good, 87 degrees right now, still all good, so no thermal throttling at this point. And here you see the fans are now at a way higher RPM. So at idle, you saw they were approximately 700 RPM, and now under full load, they're approximately running at 2200 RPM. And this is something you can adjust. So if you want to maximize at a lower RPM, you can definitely limit that, but then of course you will get higher temperatures.
Yeah, everything comes at a trade-off.
Yeah. So at the end, it's also really a matter of what you want. Do you want to have the best cooling performance, or do you want to have the lowest noise levels? Everything is basically a trade-off in that perspective.
And if you don't want to trade off between those two, you always have price.
Yeah. But at a certain point, you reach a point where you can throw bigger radiators at it, but it doesn't matter anymore because you're limited by the size of the CPU itself, where you can dissipate the heat through, basically. Nasty Joda says this cooler would be perfect for 13400F or the 7600. Yeah, definitely. Like 240mm is plenty of cooling for an i5 13400F or the Ryzen 5 7600. Plenty. You could even cool those with a 120mm, I would say, but of course then you would get higher noise levels. So in general, those CPUs are perfect to run in combination with the 240mm radiator. For the 13600K, if you have the budget, in general I would recommend going for a 360mm model. as you can see, you can definitely cool this at no throttling at all with the 240, but with the 360 you will get a bit lower noise levels. So that would be my personal reason to go for a 360. If you don't care about noise, go for a 240, you can do it. TechFlay is saying on TikTok chat, I need a free PC. Me too. So basically, you can see that we reached the peak in terms of temperature. It's not like over the past couple of loops, it doesn't rise anymore. So basically, the overall peak that I see is like 70. Do we have 88 somewhere? Yeah, 88 is like the overall peak that I can find. But it's not really getting any higher than this anymore. So this, it seems to be topping out at this. So this is full load. In gaming, you will get nowhere near these kind of power draws, so also temperatures in gaming workloads will be lower. Scott27 is asking, what are reasonable idle temps for most CPUs? Depends. Like, idle temps are not really something to care about that much. I would more look at the low temperatures. Like, does it matter to you if your CPU is idling at 30 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Celsius? It doesn't really make a difference because both are pretty low temperatures. But I would say modern CPUs, like up to 95, 100 degrees Celsius is perfectly safe to run them, even sustained at full load. Of course, they do have thresholds where, for example, for Ryzen CPUs like 95 degrees, then it will thermal throttle at those temperatures. I believe Intel's even a little bit higher in this generation. 97 degrees maybe, I'm not 100% sure on this one. But like for example here we're maxing out at like 88 degrees Celsius, so it's not thermal throttling. You can do this 24/7 and it's safe to do. But yeah, I wouldn't really mind too much about, I wouldn't look too much at idle temperatures. It doesn't matter if it's running at 30 degrees Celsius or 50. It's both perfectly fine. Before we started this test, in this configuration, it was running at like 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. So that's very low. Nasty Joda says i5 3600K consume as much power as 7800 X3D, which is terrible. I think the 7800 X3D consumes less power than a 13600K. But I also don't think it's terrible that a 13600K consumes as much or more power. It kind of makes sense because it's a 14-core CPU, whereas the 7800 X3D is an 8-core CPU. So there's a bit of a difference there as well. 7800 X3D is a great CPU for gaming though, and like the single-threaded performance of that CPU is also very good. Latency is very good because of the 3D cache in that CPU. But in more CPU-heavy workloads like rendering, like for example Cinebench, there the 3600K will of course be quite a bit faster because it has way more cores. But those cores of course consume power, so yeah. I would say 3600K consumes more than 7800 X3D. But I think it's quite logical that it does so. And of course in gaming, power draw of this chip will also be way lower than it is right now. Rayfield says in Twitch chat, unless you're idling at 95 degrees Celsius, then you may not have removed the plastic film from the bottom. Yes, if you're idling at 95 degrees, then you indeed will have a certain issue. But then also, when you're under load, the temperature will be approximately the same and it will just thermal throttle performance. But do always remove the protective plastic film from the bottom. So yeah, this is basically the highest temperature that we can reach under full load. Oh, I saw a small spike of 89. So that's the highest I've seen, and yeah, this is basically still looping. How far are we? Oh, it's only 10 more seconds, and then we've looped it for
and then you talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And the total peak, that was only very brief, was at 89 degrees Celsius. So perfectly fine and perfectly within safety margins, even with the 240mm model. Okay, so now it's finishing. The timer is on 0, but it's finishing the render. Now you see it's done. Here you see the score. If we go back to hardware info, you immediately see the package power drop all the way back to currently at 5 watts. So, and we were at 190, 195. So huge difference on these CPUs between idle and load. And also the temperature, of course, goes down. And here you see the fans also automatically adjusting. Baltic Seal is asking, what about reliability of current MSI coolers? First series had a problem with plastic particles being deposited and clogged the block fins. Yes, we indeed had a recall for the early models of our R series. We later also had
V1, well, they're not called V, right? The normal one.
No, also because the regular one, we also at a certain point solved that issue. The V2 added more options in terms of brackets in the box. So we definitely had a revision and we had a recall for some of those earlier models that had some clogging issues. So that was already solved.
So how do you call it? Plumbing issues?
Clogging issues.
Oh, clogging, yeah.
Clogging. Yeah, you can call a plumber to solve it, but I'm not sure if they're specialized in all-in-one liquid coolers. But that was already solved.
So things like this happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we also get these coolers from OEM. Most brands do. I think actually all brands do.
This is, by the way, a completely different OEM than the R series where we had that issue with.
Yeah, and so far that's the only one which had that problem, and I think with the swap all the customers
also, for
helped.
example, the C and the P series are actually from the same OEM as the R series, but they also, because they're later models, they didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
Beantown Review says clogging issues do fall under plumbing, definitely. But I'm still not sure if a plumber is the way to go for an all-in-one liquid cooler. But you can try. But yeah, this is completely different OEM. We have different OEMs for different series of liquid coolers.
Michiel, I think we need to start with Baldur's Gate, otherwise you didn't even create your character and killed some, I guess, monsters.
I think that's a good idea.
And I'm going to do another lucky...
I think that's also a good idea.
I really need to get used to this interface.
Maybe you can go back to the main scene, then people can see how they can participate. So if you haven't done so, go to msi.com/2/insider. Or if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you can also follow the direct link that our bot puts in the chat once every 5 minutes.
Sue me, but I picked 2, right?
You picked 2 winners.
Yeah.
So you're sending out the codes tomorrow, right?
First winner. Kane Nemesis. Congrats with your name.
You also won a Steam Wallet code, congrats.
And the third, did I say first? Well, actually it's the second winner. And the third winner is Jaffo. Jaffo, congrats.
Also congrats, you also won a Steam Wallet code. So both, please keep an eye out on your mailbox, then we will email the code
and
to
you
in the
can
coming
use
days.
this for Baldur's Gate on Steam, but also for the PC building simulator.
Yes. So you may want to wait until next week to see how good or bad the PC Building Simulator 2 is, or how good or bad I am by building in that program. I
think it will be challenging because you can build. I proved I can build a PC almost blind.
Yeah.
But in the
I'm very confident building PCs in real life, but I never did it in the PC Building Simulator before. So I'm really curious how difficult it is.
I'm going to Google what does an average PC build take on time?
In the PC Building Simulator.
Yeah. Then I know if you need to show up next week, or I just can send Peter in.
It also depends on how fancy you want to make it, right?
How long does a build take? 22.5 hours. Oh, that's the main story. Oh, there's a storyline.
Okay. That's long.
Ooh, then I'm to beat. Oh, so
there's a storyline. Oh, that's going to be a long live stream.
Main story, 26 hours. That's something we're not going to. It's maybe version 1. How realistic?
I'm quickly going to toss my notebook aside so I have some space to play Baldur's Gate 3.
We should actually do version 1 because it seems more difficult than version 2.
Version 1 is more difficult.
It seems, yeah.
Okay.
They fixed some
Then I'm glad we're doing
bothersome
version 2.
aspects. 2 hours to build, 20 hours of testing. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, Eric, let's go to Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah. Capture.
We do have a very nice overlay.
Audio okay for you guys?
If you're curious on how you make this overlay, check out an earlier live stream where Ruud and Peter explained this into detail. And actually, yesterday I was testing with this.
Yeah.
And I had an issue with one of the readouts in this overlay. And I used their tutorial together with Peter to fix this. And it worked. So
Only took you 45 minutes, right?
yeah, to find the issue, yes. But we didn't build it like they are explaining there. So we first had to find where the issue was.
Yeah. Debugging.
Yeah, indeed, debugging. But if you want to have the overlay, definitely check out that live stream. I think it looks pretty cool.
I think, you know, this games is probably not, what is it called in English? PG-18?
Yeah, like the age rating, right?
Yeah. I think it has some disturbing things in it.
Okay, so if there are any minors in the chat right now, close your eyes.
Bedtime,
please,
bye-bye, go to school. I saw somebody on TikTok saying, I'm at school. That's also okay.
If you're old enough, then it's okay.
Where did TikTok go?
We did make a small addition to this overlay, and that's the CPU temperature. We made it a little bit bigger and put it right here. Because of course, if you're testing a CPU cooler, then the CPU temperature is...
Oh, NC17. Oh, rated R. It's rated R.
Alan JT says, be aware it has nudity. I hope it's good nudity. Always nice to have. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, we're going on the ground.
It's a gate, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. As mentioned before, I have zero experience with it. I haven't touched it, tried it, anything before, so I hope you can guide me through it if we have some experienced players here.
It's mature, it's not R. I don't know what R
Let's maybe have a quick look at the video settings. So we're running a 4070 today, the Gaming X Trio version. We have a 1440p monitor, the MAG 274 QRF-QD, quantum dot monitor. So 1440p resolution. It's 165 Hz monitor, but we lost 1 Hz, so it says 164, but it is a 165 monitor. V-Sync's off, full screen mode. Overall preset, let's just go Ultra. Accept. Is the rest still all good? Yes. What do we get with Ultra? Okay, high is the highest setting. Okay, then I get it. I was already wondering why is this not an Ultra, but there is no Ultra. So I think this basically maxes out everything. Slow HDD mode is not important for us because we're running an M480 SSD, so Gen 4 SD, very quick one. Dynamic crowd sounds good. DLSS I will keep off for now. Let's see how it runs natively at 1440p.
Yeah, we can always add it on later.
We can always switch it on indeed.
We're running NVIDIA GPU, right?
Yes, 47. FSR also off. Fidelity effect sharpening is on. Sharpness. Anti-aliasing TAA is on. Ambient occlusion. Depth of field. So basically, Ultra has everything on. I don't see any motion blur, so that's good because I hate motion blur. Then let's get into the game. Difficulty.
There's always a challenging question.
I have zero experience, so let's go for the most difficult.
No, just do balanced. I mean,
that's probably alright. Like, this is an RPG, right? I never play RPGs.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to play this like 10 hours now.
So let's do pussy mode. I can handle that.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going for the pussy mode.
But maybe pussy mode means you get more talk, and I don't like talk. I like fighting.
Yeah, doesn't mean you get more talk.
Could be, right? It's like, choose a story mode. Oh, it's actually called Explorer?
Yeah, balanced or tactician. I think it's the same gameplay, it's just harder, I would guess. But chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Also, it's a turn-based game, I see in chat. Nasty Yoda says, does this game have ray tracing? No,
nope.
Not at this point. But maybe that's added in the future. That's something they could add through an update.
Cool, just pick something.
Okay, then I go full pussy mode. It's all about the story, right?
If the audio is too loud, let me know, please.
If the audio is too loud, they cannot hear you right now.
Hey, you don't have a headset. You don't have audio.
Who needs audio?
Looks like StarCraft.
Do we want to go through the video? By the way, here you can really see clearly that this liquid cooler has RGB because it's running almost 2000 FPS.
Oh yeah.
Like without RGB, this will be 30 FPS max. Nasty Yoda says CPU is chilling. Yeah, it's not doing too much. Well, it is doing something because it's like at 37 watts at this point. And like at complete idle, it was between 5 and 10 watts. So it is doing something, but not too much. It is by no means close to the 200 watts that we saw before. Oh, sorry, that was actually the GPU. The CPU is currently at 75 watts. And that probably has to do with that very high FPS. In the game, it may be lower. Shall I skip this, or do we want to see all of it?
Depends how long it takes. We don't know.
This video lasts until the end of this stream, right? Action Brother says, why does the game not limit the FPS to 60 during these videos? Waste of power.
Depends on the game. Some games do this. They have I remember Battlefield or maybe Call of Duty in the past. They had unlimited FPS in the menus, and then they fixed that, and indeed it saves a lot of power.
Shall I spend an hour on creating a character, or should I go for a preset?
I like the one with
randomize.
I like the.
Oh, this is perfect.
Like a dwarf type.
Yeah, I like the pink hair. Yeah, this is good.
Go with it.
This suits me. Proceed. Character name. Chat. Any suggestions?
You missed the best part of the intro. Did you skip the intro?
Did I skip the intro?
I didn't think so.
Did I?
Yeah, that's my question to you. Did you skip the intro?
Not that I know.
we have a limited edition. It cut off some cutscenes.
Earlier on we played Hogwarts Legacy, and there my character was called Puddle Model, so now we need a better name than Puddle Model.
Dwarf Fortress.
Oh, nice Action Brother has a good suggestion. Mr. Birchwood.
Insider.
Gorak, Murphy.
Yeah, we didn't see the Dragon Riders.
Kiwi Loves Pizza says, love the hair. Thank you, appreciate it.
Pick one, I want to see gameplay.
Okay, let's go for Mr. Birchwood. I like that one.
You need a guardian. Choose one.
Oh, you need a guardian, choose one. Human is boring, right? Oh, this one's pretty cool. What's this?
It's also nice.
My character looks a bit like a dwarf, so we need... Shall we go for this one?
A taller one.
Or taller, but that... Yeah?
So there are like 8 races.
No, 10.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 10.
So which one shall we go for?
Just pick the elf.
The elf? Okay.
Yeah,
Elf it
can
is.
agree with that. And even if I don't agree, doesn't matter.
Here we go.
So this is the back to the cutscene again.
So I didn't skip it, I just had to continue. It looks intense.
talking about some dragon riders, so it could happen now.
Which city is this? Is it an existing one?
No, probably not.
No? They also didn't base it off an existing city? Now the FPS seems to be locked to 60, you see that?
Yeah, can you
Strange.
fix that?
I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
kind
the
of
game
strange
that
because
does
also, but maybe the first cutscene was like cinematic and this one is in-game. Oh.
Yeah, it could be. But also for a cinematic one you could have limited it to 60. But I think they read the comment in chat that it was way too powered, and now they fixed it to 60.
Like 6.5, yeah, these are the Dragon Riders.
A bit like the movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
But there's very good music in that movie. Hey, that's not my character. I think her.
Defrosting process.
But despite the dragon spitting fire, CPU temperature is only 36 degrees Celsius. So the E240 is still running fine. This game guys have been monetized.
Yeah, I need to set the story. You need to know why you're fighting, probably. I think they're trying to save her. After the hill, you kill. Yeah, ooh, I now notice.
Yeah, it was loud.
Yeah, so the audio also differs in different sections. Because before when we tested it, the audio was quite low. Now it's falling back again.
Okay, chat, let us know if this audio level is better.
We're real time tuning the audio levels.
So when I was running Cinebench, maybe you could hear the noise level a bit through my microphone because of course the fans were ramping up quite a bit, but right now CPU is just chilling. Fan speed is low, it's only at around 1100 RPM compared to 2200 during Cinebench or 700 completely idle. So now also the cooler is basically unaudible and also the fans on the graphics card are even switched off right now. They only ramp up if the temperature of the GPU rises. Hey, there I am. I look pretty today. Okay.
My head.
So this is 1440p, ultra settings, no DLSS, and still running over 100 FPS, so that's perfectly fine.
4070, right?
Yeah, 4070 with 13600K CPU. Okay, center camera, okay. Oh, that was too quick. Oh, that was too quick.
Well, yeah, probably you did it.
Oh, that's this.
I guess.
No, but there was also something with home. And then, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, how do I control my character? I should read better.
Might still be stuck inside if we hadn't been attacked.
I have absolutely zero experience with these kind of games, so I will be struggling a lot. But I did find out how I should walk.
Gods are watching me.
It's a bit like Age of Empires. I can do that. Okay. Is this my pet?
No, you had a guardian.
Yeah, but where is my guardian?
Maybe you need to meet him?
That was the elf, right? What's this?
Take it.
Dead.
Okay.
This is the pool that thing
Oh.
came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
Menestral says CPU 55 degrees. Yes, right now it's.
You need to choose one, Mike.
Okay, I have to make choices. Just reach for it. So right now the CPU is consuming around 63, 67, 60.
If it moves, bash it.
Between like 50 and 60 watts. And then the temperature is around 55 degrees Celsius.
Walk back to what exploded. Nothing there?
Nope. Not that I can see. What's that?
I feel
Oh, okay.
better.
Oh, can't reach this.
I'm not sure if you should walk into the fire. Is there no loot in the middle? Well, just first do
Not that
that
I can
one.
see.
Yeah,
This one?
first do that one.
Lucky I made it out.
How can I?
Click.
Burnt to a crisp. Not everyone made it out alive.
There's not much I can do there. Oh, those are similar kind of
Someone else
things.
got out.
Skeet says this game does not hold your hand. No,
yeah,
it
we
indeed doesn't.
noticed.
Like the other survivors.
But I hope I eventually figure out how it works.
So maybe go back to the middle to see if there's some loot. Or to the left.
Maybe I should go there. Looks like I can go through this. I don't even want to know what it is, but... Okay, that worked.
Yeah, I know this is a Belgian game developer.
Ooh, take everything.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories
I'll take this
flash
as well.
into your mind.
A brain jar. Oh, that's cool.
Looks like a human brain.
Yeah, can I take this?
Examine.
That worked.
Bye bye brain.
Help us.
Oh, I can sit down. Nice.
That's
Oh, can I drop in there? Okay, okay.
they look dangerous.
No, we'll be fine. I can probably steal stuff here. Rayfield says you can hold Alt to highlight things that you can click on. Comes in handy. Okay, thank you. That's a good tip.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place.
Oh, more brains.
From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
Should I eat the brains or how does this work?
Whoa. Nice. Rip them out. Pass point of saving. Tell me what to do.
Remove us from this body. From this case.
I was more
Free
thinking
us,
of tickling the brain.
please.
Break the skull.
Break the skull for sure. Okay.
So, Mike, you thought you could... Oh.
I can just roll the dice and pretend that I'm skillful enough. That worked. And I had success. That was not very friendly.
Well, it seems he's waking
By
up.
the way, underage people, keep your eyes closed still.
No, this is not, I mean...
Oh,
It's from the
there we
skull.
go with ripping the brains
But
out.
you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient, should it prove a threat.
Yes, definitely that one. Okay.
So you need to
Oh,
throw higher than 15 or what?
yep.
A difficult class 15.
Failure. Yikes.
What now?
I don't know. Maybe I can eat it now?
It's doing something. Oh, just throwing it away. Oh, it's alive! Oh, lol. Hey, that's your new pet.
Can I give it a name? Hey, pet, come here. Oh, it's running away. Hello? Hello? Where are you?
Surprising.
Okay, let's see what. Oh, we have a brain jar as well. I'll just destroy everything. Okay, so with Alt I can see. Ah, yeah, and then it lights up indeed. Stuff I can interact with. Loot. Oh, but there's nothing there. Okay, let's go down again, I think. I don't think there's much more here to do. Divina Duckworth says, Brian the Brain. I like that name. And we're going down again. Let's see if we can find Brian back.
This is your
Is
protector.
that my elf?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's my elf.
Abomination.
Is it?
This
Maybe not.
is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past.
Can I just smack her
a
somehow?
dragon swing, a silver sword,
I think you need to be friendly.
and a flash of your
Yeah.
face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
My head. What is this? Squall. You are no thrall. Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Be nice.
What do you suggest?
This wouldn't be my type of game, Mike.
First,
First of all, it would cost too much time. Secondly, I don't like stories. You know, I don't have time for it.
Yeah, I also heard it's turn-based. I tried that with the Civilization games,
So common.
and I
think
am
is
too
also
impatient for turn-based stuff.
But the graphics are really nice.
Yeah, it looks good. That looks a bit evil, though. Oh,
You will find out. You
Okay.
need to fight it.
okay. So this is the turn-based stuff. Happens in rounds, and each participant gets a turn to act. The game passes around you during combat, so you have time to plan your actions. Okay. Okay, so it is my helpful elf, I think. Okay, this is show the actions. And this is show bonus activations. Okay. No, we're definitely not gonna hide. Ooh, I like this one. Smash. And do it
Fall
there.
by my hand.
Miss? What do you mean miss? Do it again. Do it again. Oh. Oh, he's already dead.
Yeah.
That's easy. Can I also control the elf? Oh, not enough movement. Oh. Oh, of course, that's turn-based as well to move. Okay, okay.
Bash it again.
I don't have enough movement, so I think I should maybe do something here. Oh. Oh, okay. I have to switch to the here at the top screen. Okay.
You can push and turn at the bottom right of the skill bar.
I still want to smack someone with the elf. Okay, ranged attack, rush attack.
Yeah, these kind of games you
Let's,
first need to
let's
find out the mechanics
Boom.
and then loot it.
That was very doable. Of course, take everything. And okay, not enough.
Yeah,
movement.
turning a 5-second battle into half an hour.
No. That's. Oh wait, I can maybe heal this one. No, doesn't look like I can. They're also grayed out, so I think I have used.
I am death.
Yeah, this one doesn't need to be healed. Okay, let's go for end turn.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Now this only left thingy is gonna attack me, I think.
Another fight. Let's go.
I am waiting for something, but I don't know what.
For what are you waiting?
I ended the turn, so I'm actually expecting this thingy to attack me. Maybe if I tick a little bit. Hello, dragon. Do
End
something.
turn is for the character you selected. So you have to also end turn on your main character.
Good point, thank you. Ah, that worked.
There, you're now dead.
No, I'm not dead.
Up in flames.
It missed me. Okay, let me see.
Thanks, Rayfield.
Thank you.
This is how we will finish this game.
I'm
With
gonna
your
go for
help.
That one and
Gods
smack the
take
dragon.
first.
There you go, dragon. And I want your stuff. Some allies can join you in your adventure. You can control them the same way as you do your own character.
Is that like
Click
multiplayer?
companion's portrait to take control over them. Yeah, that's the thing I saw on top with the elf.
Need to find a way forward.
Okay, so my elf automatically follows me, I think. Oh. Hey, what's up?
Not now. We
Oh,
must
I
go to
accidentally
the
clicked the
helm.
elf and she starts talking. Just get away. More stuff that I can loot? Yes, I want that too. I already looted this. I think I did not loot this yet. Oh, I want it all. That one I also looted, I think. Ooh,
Great.
can I grab this? No. I think I have to go in this direction. Oh, and now we're back alive. Good. Come on, elf, follow me.
We need to get out before it's too late.
Just casually looting everything. You see that the scene in between, when you switch in between levels, are a lot more CPU intensive. You really see it spike up.
Yeah.
And then you're back into the level again, and it immediately comes down again. So it's the loading of the new part of the level.
Istik, back! Touch nothing without
Push the
knowing its
button, of
purpose.
course. Oh, no, I'm in a fight. Oh. Not enough movement. Oh, I shouldn't have. I accidentally moved the elf.
Swift and lethal.
This one should be able. No? Cannot reach it? Gotta be
I'm
kidding me,
fury.
right?
I am death.
Yeah, then you need more turns, right?
Can I push this?
So Michiel, your homework assignment this weekend is playing this game.
Practice.
Practice.
Okay, I will just
Maybe
stand
you will
there.
love it and
Time
And that
to
one.
strike.
There are no other enemies, right? No.
Taking
Let's just
position.
go there. Oh, this is a ranged attack, so that I can do. Oh, that was easy. Oh, there's another one.
there's always another one.
Oh, okay, so like this. Yeah, I don't have to move for that. Okay, let's do end turn,
Waits.
and let's see what the thingy does. Hey. What do you mean miss? Aim better.
On the move.
Okay.
Well, so much for peace. Time to
I'll
press
just
ahead.
follow that thingy.
Time to strike.
That guy doesn't miss. Oh, now he's close. So I can do my... This one looks good. Get down, thank you. And get looted. Did I loot that guy? Not yet. There we go. Oh, that looks cool. What's the purple stuff? Mysterious liquid.
Swift as my feet can get.
Hey, another elf.
We have no time for stragglers.
That was the elf I picked, right? Not the one that is with me now.
The construction is too alien.
Let's see if I can get it open.
Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
Skeet says I might actually play some of this later. Yeah, I know it is a very popular game. I think it's also in like the top 10 most played Steam games right now. It also had like a ton of positive reviews. So I think for the turn-based RPG lovers, this is apparently...
and a bit turn-based, but one of the things people were really positive about that there were not really that many bugs.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did
You know, it's
something
like
to
it feels
this the other
finished.
day. Hurry!
And most games nowadays, if they're launched, they're trying to push the deadline, and they have tons of issues.
The console appears dormant.
And Divina says elf lives matter. Elf lives matter. Look for a switch. No, hit it. Always hit it.
Nothing. The console remains dormant.
Come on, hit it. Smack it. Aw, didn't work.
The
Okay, then
mechanisms are completely unrecognizable
we go for the lame
at
option.
first, but then you spy an empty socket.
also didn't work. Well, leave it is then, I guess.
Socket must power this thing.
Maybe I should also push the other button. No? No. Apparently not.
What about
Oh,
those things? Yeah, on the ceiling.
I think that's healing or something. I guess.
If you can find healing, probably more enemies coming up.
Brain in a jar.
A brain in a jar. Always wanted to have that. Yes, I want. Oh, I cannot
Locked.
open.
The key.
So you probably need to beat somebody for your
Yeah, I
key.
need something here. The thief's tool. To pick a lock. Okay. Smack this. Okay, there is something. Oh, okay. What's that?
Faint images appear in your mind. A
Pick up.
brain-legged Yankee warrior, and centuries
Pick up.
of darkness.
I just pick everything up. But there's also something here. Oh, it's a necklace. Also mine now. And of course, I want to smack that stuff. There we go. Okay. Can I now already release my elf?
Come on! Get me out of this thing!
No,
Keep looking.
not yet. Keep looking. Does that automatically mean that it is somewhere in this room, or should I
Normally,
proceed
yes. Loot everything. Well, that's always a good
Oh,
solution.
here, empty, empty. Touch, that didn't do anything. But let's try again.
The console appears dormant.
Always hit it first.
Nothing. The console remains dormant. The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable
that also
at
still doesn't
first.
work.
But then you spy an empty socket.
Oh, Rayfield says M opens the map and shows quest objectives with a yellow dot. Oh, that's nice. This is a map of your surroundings. You can view quest locations and place custom markers. You can also teleport
No inventory weight
to
limit.
waypoints points if you have discovered
Sounds
by
easy.
selecting them. Okay. So this is that's where I am. Ah, okay. Okay. Let's go to dot. Oh. Let's see. The dot is in that direction.
Search for the key.
Okay, okay. I'll probably end up in a fight somewhere here.
Mind flayer
Smack this.
horticulture.
Smack that.
Like a
too.
big boss.
What more of that? Okay, there is fire, so let's not stand in it.
We're nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Okay, that was intense. Let's proceed to the dot.
Okay.
Oh, now it's on.
Whoa.
A brain eater.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it.
Correct.
Correct.
Do
Those
the
doors.
gay out of
Looks
it.
like it.
Indeed. Oh. Wait.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Trying to
this
run?
is now. Oh no, that's an opponent. Okay, that is my buddy. Oh, the weird guy is with me. This one. I thought
Is
those were
he?
enemies.
Yeah, I thought he was keeping you captured.
Oh. Okay, smack that one. None of movement. What do you mean? You're standing next to him. Oh, I selected the wrong one. How do I? It still selects that one. Okay. Then I will attack that one first. Okay, that one please. Ah, I didn't die at once. And you, okay. I can only control this one for now. Okay, and turn for this one. Okay, now I can try hit this please. Oh, that one's dead now.
I'm going to do another giveaway.
Still not dead. Oh, now I can use this guy. Oh, that automatically attacks. I think I can only control the blue ones, and the green are with me, but they attack automatically, I guess.
They have their own opinion.
Yeah, indeed. Oh.
You have to complete the turn, end the turn.
No, I think this one I can still...
Yeah,
get
already a bit
closer,
older
yeah?
comments. I was switching screens.
Can also move there. And you can shoot at this. And do this. And turn.
It's easy these days.
Green are the NPCs.
We can do that. And then turn. Okay. Too far. Let's just head somewhere there.
No time for mercy.
And
Nothing.
that one, can I reach this? Yes. What do you mean, miss? I'm here to hit that person.
Position.
And I'll heal a little bit.
Choice but to keep going.
Heal a little bit. And then turn.
We must take the
Okay.
transponder.
Smack him.
Yes.
And once more.
Yeah.
And once more. Oh.
Still a lot of health.
And turn for this one. Oh, let's see if I have something more intense. Let's do that one. And do this. And turn. And NPC. Hey!
Uh-oh.
He killed my buddy. We're gonna pay for that.
Maybe loot him.
That's maybe a good idea. He's dead anyway, so he won't be using any of it anymore. Oh, yeah. Okay. Attack. Oh, walk around and attack, sure.
Will you survive?
Probably not. I think I have to heal.
Is it health?
Yeah,
Don't see any effect.
me neither.
He can kill you all.
Should I? Oh, I have to click myself. I didn't activate it all the time.
Yeah, because I saw at the top.
Okay.
The bar, it was like half red and no change.
Let's smack it again. And then I should do this one and click myself.
Yeah, helping.
Okay, that's better. Okay.
Bye bye.
Did he kill my elf? Can I revive the... I don't think so. That's a pity because the elf was stronger than my pink-haired creature. And my pink-haired creature also missing.
I think this was the last of you.
You're gonna get that back. Take that. Oh, and now there's more enemies as well. Where did they go? There are more. Looks like there's more of this. Oh, I cannot heal. Okay, and turn them. Oh, that's a pity. That's maybe a good way to end the stream, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, conclusion?
I'm not good at these kind of games.
You're not good at these kind of
I
games.
hope I do better in the PC Building Simulator 2 next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Should be more my
It's
thing.
not really our kind of game, right?
No. But it was good to try that.
That's what we do. We always try. Last winner for today.
Yes.
This one is for you, Mike.
Oh. Turek Sent?
Yeah. We should know him.
Congratulations.
He's here more with loyalty bonus. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Sorry for butchering your name, but congratulations. You also won a Steam
What was it
wallet.
again, his name?
Turek Sent?
Yeah.
I think.
Probably.
Or Turek Sent?
Turek-Sent.
Turek Sent? I don't know.
No, that sounds like French.
But congratulations.
So next week,
Yes.
the big challenge.
The big challenge indeed. So
Yeah,
maybe
we-
with you or maybe with Peter. Not sure yet.
We
I
don't
will
know how
definitely
this is
be
going
here.
to go. We didn't check it yet. We already got a lot of emails from HU like, hey, can you check this, can you check that? And we didn't have time.
No.
So,
But we will try that.
yeah. And I will make sure, if I'm here, that I will pre-select the components to make it easy.
All the easy components. So no
if
RGB
there
and
are
stuff.
any.
But if we build something with RGB, then also the RGB has
Oh
to
no,
work.
no RGB.
Oh, you're going easy mode like I did in the game and I still died.
Yeah, that's oh, this was easy mode.
This was easy mode.
Precies. Yeah, I forgot.
And you tried to push me to the harder one. I already cannot do this.
You're right. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay, go back to the chat.
yeah.
Let's see.
I forgot about the easy mode. So you can practice this weekend at home.
Mr. Masterdog says you didn't learn to rocket jump in 10 minutes either. That's true, that's true. But in Quake I was more motivated, I think. Hey, thank you so much everyone. Hope to see you again next week. Same place, same time. And then we're gonna challenge each other with the PC Building Simulator 2 against a real world PC build.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you then. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Bye bye. I'm a bit slow today, right?
A little.
Yeah, I know.